Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from the True Stories collection, as in, it actually happened at an event that I was actually judging. Amy is playing a big score, and she discards a Worldspine Wurm. Does she shuffle it into her library before or after she draws? Okay, so to get ready, let's first review a couple of important facts about triggered abilities. The thing that shuffles Worldspine Wurm back into your library is a triggered ability. You can tell because it uses the word win. Anything that uses at, when, or whenever is automatically considered a triggered ability. Now, the important thing about triggered abilities for this question is that they can trigger anytime, but they can only go on the stack at certain times. A fun analogy that I like to use is that when the thing described by the trigger event happens in the game, the triggered ability triggers, and the fairies who are in charge of triggered abilities make a note of that fact on their whiteboard. The next time that a player would get priority, then the fairies put all of the triggered abilities that they've noted on the stack, and they erase the whiteboard. So let's take a look at that process in the context of the situation described in the original problem statement. Amy discards Worldspine Wurm during the process of casting Big Score, so that's when its triggered ability will trigger, and that's when the fairies will put it onto the whiteboard. Players do not get priority in the middle of a player casting a spell, so the fairies will wait until the whole process of casting Big Score has been completed before they can put that triggered ability onto the stack. Since the Big Score has been successfully cast at that point, the triggered ability will go on the stack on top of it and will therefore resolve first. So that's the answer to our original question. Amy will shuffle the Wurm back into her library and then draw. Now let's take a look at a related situation. What would happen if Amy discarded the Worldspine Wurm via a Dangerous Wager? We'll note that unlike Big Score, Dangerous Wager does not say that the discard is part of the additional cost to cast the spell. Rather, it's just something else that happens while the spell is resolving. Players also do not get priority while a spell is resolving, so that means that the fairies are going to see that ability trigger during the resolution of Dangerous Wager, but they won't put it onto the stack until after all of the steps of the resolution have been performed. So the answer to this situation is the exact opposite from the one that we had last time. Amy shuffles after drawing. Ready for one last challenge question? Let's say that Amy is discarding for the Chapter 2 ability of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Will she shuffle Worldspine Wurm in before or after she draws? For this one, the answer is exactly the same as what we saw in the Dangerous Wager example. The discard happens during the resolution of the Chapter 2 ability, so we cannot shuffle until after all of the steps of that ability have been performed. As one last little riff on this question, I want to take a look at this other card, Progenitus, and see how things might be different if we were discarding that rather than Worldspine Wurm. We can see that Progenitus does not use any of those special words, at, when, or whenever, that we were talking about earlier. So the thing that shuffles Progenitus back in is not a triggered ability. It uses the word instead, which means that it's a replacement effect. Unlike triggered abilities, replacement effects don't use the stack, they just cut in anytime they see the thing that they're about to replace happening in the game. This means that there's no point in time where the Progenitus is ever in your graveyard. It modifies the discard so that Progenitus goes straight from your hand into your library. That means that if you were to discard a Progenitus for any of those cards that we were talking about, it will be shuffled into your library before you draw. But that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.